Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ad-Darsu Tasiu. The lesson number 9, Rihlatun, is about a journey. Before we go through the lesson, let's review the concepts of this lesson, what this lesson is all about. So, this lesson is about the passive voice tense in Arabic, al-failul mabniu lil majhul, how the passive voice tense works in Arabic. Here are some examples. Zukira hazal kalamu fi kitabin sayyahiyin an Misra. This is mentioned in the tourist book about Egypt. Urifa sababu, the reason is known. Asharhu, the explanation. So here Zukira and Urifa, they are the passive, past passive, the passive voice tense. Zukira hazal kalamu, this is mentioned. Fi hazihil jumlati manilla zi zakara. In this sentence, who is the one who mentioned? Who mentioned it? The doer, who is the file of the section? La narifu, we don't know. Fal failu majhulun. So in this verb, the file is unknown. File is majhul. Halil failu damirun mustatirun, is the file a hidden pronoun? Just like in the active verbs, there are some hidden, the file is hidden sometimes. So a question is the file hidden in this sentence? La fazamirul mustatiru yajibu an yarjiu ila shaksin marufin. No, because in the hidden, if the file is hidden, then it returns to a person, marufun, a known person. In the active form of the verb, active voice, in the sentence, even if the file is hidden but is known, in this case the file is not known. Hal mana haza anna hazal fela biduni filin. So does that mean that in this, does this verb without a file? La, no. In the hu filun, it has a file. Walakinnana la narifuhu min al jumlati, but we don't know it in the sentence. The file is there. Somebody must have mentioned it, but we don't know. From this sentence we don't know who mentioned it, or is not important to know. So walakinnana la narifuhu min al jumlati, but we don't know it from the sentence. Ay laysa lahu ismun wala damirun fi jumlati. So which means that is not a noun or a pronoun in the sentence. Masmu hazal faili, what is the name of this verb? Ismuhu al failul mabniyu lil majhul. This fail is called al failul mabniyu lil majhul. This is the name of the verb, the passive voice verb. فَكَيْفَ تَكُونُ الْجُمْلَةُ الَّتِي بِهَذَا الْفَعْلُ. So how we make a sentence with this verb? Nahnu narifu an annal jumlata failiya. We know about the jumla failiya, which consists of fail plus file. The fail file are always there in the active form of the verb, and sometime maf'ul bihi is also there. For example, when we say Fataha Muhammadun al Baba, Muhammad opened the door. So Fataha is the fail, Muhammad is the file who opened, and what was opened? The door. So this is maf'ul bihi. Sometimes the maf'ul bihi is mentioned, but all the time fail and file are there. Here is another example. Jalasa talibu, the student, he sat down. He sat. So student is the file and the action is, the fail is jalasa, and in this case there is no maf'ul bihi. So this happens in the active form of the verb when there is a file. وعندما يكون الفعل مبنيا للمجهول فنحن لا نعرف الفاعل. So when we talk about this fail, the passive form of the verb الفعل المبني للمجهول, then we don't know the file. فيكون المفعول به في مكان الفاعل. So in the passive form of the verb, the file is not mentioned. So the maf'ul bihi takes the place of the file, وَيَكُونُ اسْمُهُ نَائِبُ الْفَاعِلِ, and then it is called the deputy file, the naib file. وَيَكُونُ مَرْفُوعًا, and it is marfu. Just like in an active verb, the file is marfu. In the passive form of the verb, there is no file. The maf'ul takes the place of the file, and then it also has to be marfu. Here is an example. This is the structure of the passive form of the verb. Failun, a verb, naib, and the naib file. So the maf'ul bihi takes the place of the file and it becomes naib file and it is marfu. So like in this case, Fataha Muhammadun Baba, Muhammad opened the door. So now if we remove the file, if we don't know who opened the door, so we will say or we will say Futihal Babu, the door was opened. We don't know who opened the door. So the door was opened. So in this case, Futiha is the passive form of the verb, and Al Babu, this is what was opened. In the active form, this is Al Babu is maf'ul bihi, but in the passive form, this becomes naib file and it is marfu. So this is how passive form of the verb it works. وَلَكِنَّنَا رَأَيْنَا أَنَّ الشَّكْلَ الْفِعْلِ تَتَغَيَّرَ. But we have seen that this fail it changes. أَنَّ الشَّكْلَ فِعْلَ تَتَغَيَّرَ, that the shape of the fail that it changes. Yes, فَالْفِعْلُ مَاضِي يَتَغَيَّرُ, it changes because it does not look like, if you look at this, it was Fataha. Now the passive form it changes to Futiha. So Fataha is the fi'l madin mabni al fathi, it has a fatah, and then Fataha, they all three fatah, but in the passive form Fataha will change to Futiha. The first fatah, this fatah sign, it changes to Dhamma, and the next one changes to Kasra. So there is a change here. Nam, yes, fal fail madi yatagayyaru, fail madi it changes from what? Changes from min kataba. So kataba is to he wrote, and when we say kutiba, then say it was written. So kataba is the past active form, and then kutiba is the passive form. So it changes from kataba to kutiba. And shariba, he drank, and then shariba changes to shuriba, it was drunk. So for daiman, so always al harful awwalu, the first letter, first radical ka, like in this case ka, ta, ba, three root letters. Shariba, three root letters, shariba. So the first one mazmumun has dhamma. Wama qabl al akhiri maksurun. So and the second last, the one before the last one is maksur, it will have kasra. So always, this is going to be always. So in this, in that sense is simple then to make from active verb to a passive verb, because always is going to be the first radical is going to be has dhamma, and the second one going to have a kasra. So now this was the past passive. How about the the present tense in the passive form. Here are some examples. Yushrabu shayu ma'al kalami. The tea is drunk while talking. Yuskaru fi hazal kitabi kalamun kasirun. Many things are mentioned in this book. So here Yushrabu and Yuskaru, they are the from Zakara Yaskuru, it changes to Yuskaru. From Shariba Yashribu, it changes to Yushrabu. So these two verbs are the passive form, the passive verb in the present form. So this was the past tense. This is the active, the present passive. The explanation. Wal failul mudare. This is fail mudare. Al failul mudare yatagayyaru. So we know it is changing from Shariba Yashribu. It changes to Yushrabu. Just like I mentioned before. Zakara Yaskuru changes to Yuskaru. So yes, they both are changing from so Shariba Yashrabu, this is in the active form, present tense. It changes to Yushrabu. Nazala Yanzilu, to send down, so Yanzilu changes to Yunzalu. Kataba Yaktubu, Yaktubu changes to Yuktabu. So we see that the first harafuf mudare, it takes a dhamma, and then the second last letter here Yashrabu, Yanzilu, or Yaktubu, Fatah, Kasra, Dhamma, here is all Fatah. So this is the rule about the past present. So Fadaiman Harful Mudare Mazmumun. So always the Harful Mudare, this is the first letter that is in addition to the three root letters, is called Harful Mudare, is Mazmumun, has a Dhamma like in this. And Bama Qabl al Akhiri, and the second last Maftuhun gonna have Fatah. So this is the rule about the Fail Mudare Lil Majhul. Examples. Here are some examples. Kama Kila. Kama Kila, at it was said. So Kila is also the passive form of the verb. Yajibu an tuzaru, and we must, the visiting is must. Yukalu innaha min ajmalil amakin siyahiyati fil alami, and it is said that that this is one of the beautiful tourist places in the world. So Kila, Yukalu, this is all, verbs, the three verbs, they are the passive form of the verb, but they are not written like we have. They are different than what we studied, that it changes from Kataba to Kutiba, because Kala changes to Kila, or like Yukalu. So it does not follow this pattern, because those are the weak verbs, and we will study them later. So fi hazihil amsilati al afalu, the verbs like Kila or Tuzaru or Yukalu, these verbs, hiya afalul mabniyatun lil majhul, these are the passive forms of the verb. Walakinnaha, but they mukhtalifatun, are different, fi shakli, in the shape, anil afalati drasnaha, than the verbs that we have studied above. So in other words, that what we have studied here for the present tense and the past tense, they don't follow those shapes or those rules. And wahazihil afalu sanadrusuha fi durusil kadimati, and we will study these verbs in the lessons, in the coming lessons. So this is the summary of the passive form of the verb. Nastakhdimu al-fela al-mabniya lil-majhul, we use the passive form of the verb in the when la nariful fa'ila, when we don't know the file. wa aidan, or and also indama yakunul failu huwa kullun nasi, and when the file is everybody, when everybody is the file. Or indama yakunul failu laysa muhimman, and or when that the file is less important and maful bihi muhimman jiddan, and maful bihi is more important, very important, and file is less important, then we use the passive form of the verb. Here are some examples. Urifa sababu, the reason is known. So falmana, so the meaning is iza arafa ayyu shaksin sababa, when everybody he knew the reason. So everybody knew the reason mean the everybody is the file, which means um, like the file is when the yakunul filu huwa kullu nasi, the everybody is the file. So everybody, when everybody knew the reason, then we don't need to mention the file, and we have to use the passive form of the verb. Here take another example. Kutilal Raisu, the president was killed. So here the president is the most important person, like he was the president and he was killed, and who killed it does not does not have any importance here, that who killed him. The thing is that he was killed. So in this case we use the passive form of the verb when the maful bihi, like in a regular sentence, if we make an active form, it's going to be katala somebody, katala say Muhammadun ar-Raisa, that somebody named Muhammad, he killed the president. So but now when we don't know, or the file is not important, the president is more important, so then we use the passive form of the verb, that the president was killed. For Laisa Muhimman man qatalahu, so is not important who killed him. Al muhimmu, the important thing is annahu kutila, that he was killed. So that is the summary of the passive form of the verb. The next is Failul Amri, the commanding verb. Here are some examples. Ishrah lana, explain for us. Unzuri ma'ahu ya Fatima tu, look at him, look at him, O Fatima. Summa ashraha lana, and then explain for us. Isma'u ya oladu, listen, O kids, O boys. Ismana ya banatu, listen, O daughters. So we see that this is the form. This is Failul. They all are Failul Amri, the commanding verbs. Here is the explanation. Allama tadullul afalullati fi hazihil amsilati. What these verbs indicate in these examples? Tadullu ala al amr, they indicate the command. Wahuwa, and it is that an yatlabu shakhsun min shakhsin akhara, that one person demands something from another. A person demands from another person an yafal shay'an, to do something. So here one person is asking the other person to do something, means commanding him or her. Fasdikau Muhammadun yatlabuna minhu, so the Fasdikauhu Muhammad, so the friends of Muhammad, friends of Muhammad, Fasdikau Muhammadin, so the friends of Muhammad, yatlubuna minhu, they demand from him, an yashraha lahum, to explain them, wahuwa yatlubu minhum, and then Muhammad, he demands from them, an yasmau, to listen to him. So they both are like expecting or demanding from something from one another. So in this case we use the Failul Amr, the commanding verb. Kaifa namalu al amra fil lugat al arabiyya, how the commanding verb, how it works, how we make it in the Arabic language. Al-amru huwa al-failul mudari'u majzumu biduni harfil mudari'. Fail, the commanding verb. So the thing is, we can't give a command to anybody in the past tense. We only can give command in the present tense, and we cannot command a third person who is not there. We can't command him anything, and we cannot command ourselves also. So no third person pronoun, they are out. The first person, they are also out. So for the commanding verb, they come, we only use the second person, which is anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. So only the commanding verbs are formed from the verb forms used for the second person. And failul madi, so that is why I have crossed it, because in the past tense we can't make any commands. So past tense we don't need for the to make a failul amr. Is only comes from the fail mudare, and only these these pronouns anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. So al amru huwa al failul mudare majzumu and the fail amr is actually the fail mudare majzum. You know, how we make a fail mudare majzum. So if we remove the harful mudare from the fail mudare majzum, then it becomes failul amr. Like here, say for example, we take this example, anta sharaha yashrihu, and for anta yashrihu changes to tashrihu, sharaha yashrahu, for anta it changes to tashrahu. So we're gonna start from here. Tashrahu, we know tashrahu, he explains, sorry, tashrahu, you explain. So now first of all we have to make it majzoom. So tashrahu, we have to make it this dhamma in the fail mudare majzoom. We have to put a spoon here. So tashrahu changes to tashrah, and then we remove the sign of harful mudare. We remove the ta, and then when we remove the ta, the first letter here is sheen here. It has a spoon. We can't pronunciate it, so we add hamza, hamzatul wasl. It's called hamzatul wasl, alif. We add this here. Now we're gonna say ishrah. So what is the sign? What is the why I'm saying ishrah, not something else, u or a, because in the failul amr, it takes the sound of the if the second last letter, like the three letters sharaha, tash, this is the three root letters sharaha, sheen, ra, and ha. It has a fatha. So when this letter has a fatha or kasra, then the failul amr will take the kasra. So is ishrah, and if it is dhamma, then it will take dhamma. So there is no fatha in the failul amr, only kasra or dhamma. Kasra, if it is this ra is fatha or dhamma, fatha or kasra. If it's dhamma, then this is dhamma. So in this case, tashraha will change to ishrah. If you want somebody to explain you, you have to say ishrah, explain. And if you're gonna say to somebody feminine, so this is masculine, you're gonna say ishrahi. And if you're gonna say to somebody masculine or feminine, the two of them, you're gonna say ishraha. And then for all of them, ishrahu. And all the masculine, and then all the feminine, you're gonna say ishrahna. So simply just take the second person of the pronoun, and then make it majzoom form, verb form, make it majzoom, and then remove the first letter. After you remove it, you cannot pronunciate it, so then you add hamzatul wasl, and the hamzatul wasl, the sign, the i'rab of hamzatul wasl is going to be, if it is the second root letter has a fatha or kasra, then it's gonna start from kasra. Like in this case, all have fatha. It's gonna start from kasra. If it has a dhamma, like the example of the dhamma is like you can say nasara yansuru. So yansuru, and you're gonna say unsur. And if you take another example, zahaba yazhabu, you're gonna say izhab. So that is how it changes. Tashraha will change to ishrah. So nara we see fi badaya the fail al amri harfu alif. We see in the beginning of fail al amr harfu the alif here. Wahuwa alifun khasun. This is the special alif. Yakunu fi badayatil fail al amri, that comes before fail al amr. Ismuhu aliful wasal, is called aliful wasal. Naktubuhu daiman, we write it always. So this is always written. Walakinnana tantikuhu hamzatan fi badayatil jumlati fakat. But we pronunciate it hamza in the beginning of the sentence only. If the sentence is beginning from there, then only then we pronunciate it as hamza, and if something comes before, then this is not pronounced. So that is the difference. Ishrah is pronounced ishrah only when we're gonna start from here, ishrah. Lianna al fail al mudare majzum biduni half mudare yabda'u biskuni, because the fail mudare majzum biduni harfil mudare, without the harful mudare, yabda'u biskuni, starts from the skoon. Wahaza la yakunu fi lugatil arabiyya, and this is not possible in the Arabic language to have some word starting from a skoon. So that is why hamzatul wasal is added. Okay, so that was about failul amri, the commanding verb. Now we have al ismu al istifham wal harfu al istifham, the nouns of questioning or interrogation, or the particles of questioning. So for questioning we use two types of words. Some are ism and some are the haruf. So first of all we study ismul istifham. What are the nouns that are used for questioning? Here are some examples. Maza turidu ya Muhammadu, what do you want, O Muhammad? So maza is ismu istifham. This is the ism for questioning. Mal hadafu minhu, what is the purpose of it? So ma is ismu istifham. Man yunazimu hazihi rahlata, who organizes this travel or this journey? So man is ismu istifham. Mata nakumu bi hazihi rahlati, when we gonna go on this journey? So mata is ismu istifham. Aina nazhabu, where are we going? So aina is ismu istifham. Kaina nazhabu ila Sinai, how we will go to the Sinai, the Mount Sinai. So kaifa is ismu istifham. The explanation. Alama tadullul jumlullati fi hazihil amsilati, what these sentences allati, the one are in these examples, what they indicate. Tadullu ala sawali, they indicate a question. Wahuwa istifham, and it is called istifham, the questioning, the questioning sentence. Nara fi badayati hazihil jumli al kalimat, so we see in the beginning of these sentences some words like maza, ma, man, mata, aina, kaifa, kam. Fahal hazihi, what are those? What are these words? maza ma man mata aina kaifa. Al kalimatu ismun aw failun aw harfun. What are these words? Are they ism, fail or harf? Here ismun, they are ism, they are nouns. Wa haza huwa ismul istifham, and they called the noun of questioning, ismul istifham. Hal ismul istifham indahu wazifatun fil jumlati. Do these nouns for questioning, do they have any function in the sentence? Naam, yes. Wa nahnu narifu hazihil wazifata min al ijabati. We will know the function of these ismu istifham or these noun for the questioning in the answers. So the function of these ismul istifham we will gonna find in the answers. For indama nakulu, so when we say man yunazzimu rahlata, who organizes this journey, who organizes the journey. So man is ismu istifham. Takunul ijabatu, so the answer could be who organizes the journey. Muhammadun yunazzimu rahlata, Muhammad organizes the journey, the travel. Or we can say Kamalun yunazzimu rahlata, Kamal organizes this trip. Or we can say Zainabu tunazzimu rihlata, or Zainab, she organizes this trip. So in this case man is referring to somebody, some person who is organizing it. It could be Muhammad, Kamal, Zainab or anybody. So wakullu hazihil kalamatin, so all these words they are mubtada, so they are mubtada in the answer. Fatakunu wazifatu man fi sawali mubtada. So the function of this man is actually becomes in this question is mubtada. So this is the function of man, which we know from the answer of the question. Similarly, here is another example. Maza turidu, what do you want? What do you want? So the answer could be uridu sharahal fikrata, I want explanation of this idea, of the idea. Or uridu ziyaratal amakini, or I want visiting of the places. Or we can say uridu, I want shayan, I want tea. So there could be all possible answers like this. I want what? So these circled words, these are the possible answer, that I want this explanation or the visiting of something, or I want to drink tea. So wakullu hazihil kalamati maful bihi, because all these words they are maful bihi. Uridu sharha, I want the explanation, I want what? So this is the maful bihi. That is why you see it is the fatah here. Uridu ziyarata, I want visiting, fatah. And shayan, it also is has a fatah. So they all are maful bihi. So all these words are maful bihi. Fatakunu wazifatu maza. So the function of maza is in the sentence is maful bihi. So which we come to know from the answer of the question. In other words, all the ismu istifham, they have some function in the sentence. Al ismu istifham yakunu daiman fi bidayatil jumlati. The ismu istifham, they always gonna be in the beginning of the sentence, and the sentence could be ismiya or failiya. Like if you look at the sentences here, this is turidu, this is the jumla failiya, this is jumla ismiya, failiya. So the sentence can be jumla ismiya or failiya, but this ismul istifham is gonna be always in the beginning of the sentence. Limaza, so when we say limaza, here are two words. Limaza is kalimatani. Limaza is, here it was maza. If you add li maza, so it becomes two words. Li is harfu jar, and maza is ismu istifham fi mahalli jarrin. So maza is Ismu istifham fi mahalli in place of jar badal lami, after lam. So this was about the ismu istifham, harful istifham, the particles of questioning. Those were the nouns of questioning and these are the particles of questioning. Here are some examples. Hal indakum waqtun li ziyarati al yawma? Do you have time to visit me today? Anta jayun daiman, are you always hungry? So we can see here these are again the questioning sentences. These are the istifham, but they are starting from hal or this hamza. The explanation, hal kalimatan lillatani fi badayatil amsilati lil istifham, are the words in the beginning of these sentences, are they for questioning? Yes, we know that they are. We have a question mark here. They are for questioning. Do you have time, or are you always hungry? We questioning something. Yes. Hal huma ismani lil istifham, are they the nouns for questioning? La, no. Huma harfani, these are the haruf, these are the there are three types of verbs, words in Arabic: ism, fail, harf. So these are not ism, they are not fail, they are these are the particles. Limaza, why? Liannahuma laysa lahuma wazifatun fil jumlati, because they don't have any function in the sentence. Huma yas'alani fakat, these are the questions only. So they have no other function in the sentence, they are just for questioning. And al jumlatu sahihatun aw khatun, and that question is could be correct or it could be correct or it could be wrong. فكيف تكون الإجابة عنهما, so what are the how the answer is going to be about for these two questions. The answer تكون الإجابة, the answer is going to be either naam, yes, in the isbati, in the positive, wabila in the nafi, in the positive, in the affirmation or negation. So the answer is going to be affirmation or negation. Like if you ask, hal indakum waqtun li ziyarati al yawma, do you have time to visit me today? The answer could be yes or no. Anta jayun daiman, are you always hungry? The answer could be yes or no. So this is what when I mean the haruful istifham, they are used when the questions are in the yes or no, or and that is why they don't have any function in those sentences. That was all about the concepts of this lesson number 9. We're gonna do some i'rab, and then we're gonna study the main lesson, this one, in the next session, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.